Hi everybody. Well, I didn't get what I ate done yesterday or today, so I apologize for that. But I'm going to share a clip of the, what is it called? Delicata squash, I think it's called. So I'm going to share that clip with you because, oh my gosh, guys, if you've never tried that squash, I'll show a picture of what it looks like right over here. And then I'll show you a video of it done after I took it out of the oven. It is just, oh, it's so delightful. Guys, I'm not filming my food today, but I had to film this because we made the delicata squash. And we French fried one of them, and then the other one we just sliced in half and baked it. Oh my goodness, guys, this is really, really good. We used what's called Rocky Mountain spice from Penzeys, and wow, it's really super good. It has, the Rocky Mountain spice has like Parmesan cheese in it. As you can see, there's sesame seeds in there. Gosh, all kinds of other spices in there, and it's just delicious on this particular squash. This is like a sweet tasting squash, almost tastes a little bit like sweet potatoes, but it just has its own good flavor. Super good. So I actually went back to the store and I got a couple more of those and we cooked them up. That's what we had for supper, just squash. So we each had one earlier, and then I went back to the store and picked up 4 more. And we each had another one for supper. They were delicious, I'm telling you. You got to try it. And what I did was the only spice I put on there, it was called Rocky Mountain, and I got it from Penzey. If you go to penzey.com, I'll write it right down here how to spell that. If you go to penzey.com, you can order their spices, and their spices are fabulous. There's another one called Fox Point, I think, is another great one that I put on my eggs, and oh my goodness. It just totally switches up the flavor of whatever you're cooking. So definitely check that out if you guys have never heard of Penzey spice or have never heard of delicata squash. I know it's all over YouTube right now, so that's why I decided to try it out, but it was so good. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did with my eating and my exercise. So I'm going to flip you down here for a second, and then I will flip you back up and talk to you about controlling your environment. And I'm going to tell you how I did that. So I'm going to flip you down here real quick. So week 7, Sunday, October 22nd, water is only 30 ounces, still struggling on that darn water. I did not get a blue dot. I got 39 out of 30. I've got 12,032 steps, 9 floors. I weighed and measured everything. 2-mile walk on our road, and it was such a beautiful day that day. I think I showed you that video with the beautiful sunset. That day was awesome. And then we go down to the 23rd, October 23rd, that's a Monday. 60 ounces of water, a little bit better. I got my blue dot at 34 points out of 30. I should have had 30. 19,393, 18 floors. I weighed and measured everything. Exercise was 4-mile walk on our road. I did not have Advil this week or last week, so that is a big, huge non-skill victory for me. October 24th, that's a Tuesday, 60 ounces of water. Yes, I got a blue dot. I got 37 points, so I just made my blue dot out of 30. And then 11,054 steps, 15 floors. Weighed and measured everything. Exercise is 1-mile walk, 2 miles on my elliptical. If you are wondering about the blue dot, I will post a picture of the month of October so you can check out what I mean by that. And I have to stay within 27 and 37 on the point scale to earn a blue dot. So that's where this comes in at. Wednesday, October 25th. 60 ounces of water. I got a blue dot at 35 points, 18,412, 13 floors. Weighed and measured everything. 3-mile walk out on our road again. The 26th, this day, was 60 ounces of water. 27 out of 30 points. So yes, I earned a blue dot. 18,176, 40 floors. I weighed and measured everything. 2-mile walk. 1 mile in Rib Mountain, and then 1 mile on the elliptical. I worked my butt off to try and beat my 10-minute goal, but I got 11 or 10 minutes, 59 seconds. So I did a mile in 10 minutes and 59 seconds on my elliptical. My record though was 15, so I improved that by a lot, but I still was trying to beat 10. I just couldn't quite get there. But we did go over to Rib Mountain and we did the tower over there as well. Friday, October 27th, 30 ounces of water. I got a blue dot at 29 out of 30.7,653 steps, 15 floors, weighed and measured everything. 1 mile walk and 1 mile on my elliptical. Saturday, October 28th, I drank 30 ounces of water, another low day. I did not get a blue dot because this was weigh-in day. So we got 56 points and I was technically supposed to get 30. 10,054 steps, 12 floors, weighed and measured everything. Shopping in Appleton with the hubby, 2+ miles in the mall and outside. So my total miles for this week was 20 miles. And that is just walking and the elliptical added on to there. So that is the information for this week. Okay, guys. Well, first, before I get into the controlling your environment, I want to tell you a little story. Back in the day, before we started Weight Watchers, my husband and I, we used to go to a gas station nearby our house, which was just a mile down the road, and we would go buy our snacks almost every single night, almost every night. And those snacks that we would get would mostly consist of, there was some cheddar Ruffles that we used to get. It was the big bag. It wasn't a little bag. It was the big bag. We'd get each one of those, and then we'd get one of those big Dean sour cream dips, and we'd split that in half for our chips. And we would sit there and watch TV and eat that. And we figured out last night, or actually on our way to Appleton, it was a couple nights ago, we had figured out exactly how many points that totals. And that was a snack, guys. That was like a nighttime snack for us. And sometimes we'd eat a candy bar with that too. So it was insanely crazy. And those chips came to, including the dip on that, they came to 67 smart points just for a snack. And then, me and my son would go to McDonald's almost every morning for a big breakfast and a big Coke almost every morning, because we would do homeschooling, and that would be our thing. We'd go to McDonald's, get our breakfast, come home and sit here at this table right here downstairs and just do schooling. So it was just, I can't believe. I just thought I'd share that with you. It was just a huge change in our environment that we made, and I'm controlling it. I don't go to fast food at all anymore. And if I do, it's maybe like we'll get a taco, or I think that's the only thing, or maybe a chicken nugget for like 5 or 6 smart points. I'll get one of those, and I won't get fries with that at all. And we never get those hash brown things over at Taco John's or Taco Bell anymore like I used to, so that saves a lot of points right there. Just that big change alone was just amazing for our lifestyle. And now, something that on Saturday when we had our Weight Watchers meeting, right before the meeting ended, my leader had said something to us that really, really struck me. And it just kind of like lit a light bulb off in my head, I guess. But I wanted to share it with you guys and talk about it a little bit, because I totally had to do this in order to survive Weight Watchers and get on the right track. And let me tell you, it was hard at first. It was so hard at first. I did not feel like I was being deprived. What I felt like I was doing is bettering my life. So it wasn't like a deprivation for me at all to not eat the things that I really loved anymore. And when I say really loved, it was things that I shouldn't have been eating in the first place, like those potato chips and the huge container of dip. I mean, really, I shouldn't have been eating that. I know that. I know better. But I didn't care back then, I guess. So anyway, she said to us, you may not have control of all your emotions all the time, because we were talking emotional eating. She said, you may not always have control of all your emotions all the time. And there's things that are going to happen that you just can't control. But there's something you can control, and that is controlling your environment. So if you buy those things and put them in your house, chances are they're going to get eaten at some point in your plan. you're going to go through those splurge moments that I've been in so many of them. And because I control my environment, I don't bring it into my house at all. I know what things trigger me, and I had to learn it the hard way. I brought it in thinking I could control it, and I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Like, I really wanted to bring in Funyuns, are one of my favorite chips. As you can see, I have them once in a while, but I only buy the little bag. I don't buy the big bag because I know that whole big bag would be gone in an instant, just like that. So I don't buy the big bag. I buy a little bag, and that is totally fine with me. I'm satisfied after that. I don't even feel like I want any more. But if I had the big bag here, I would just keep eating them mindlessly because that's what I do still, and I hope that goes away at some point. I really, really hope it does. When I reach my goal, when I reach it, I'll let you know if that goes away or not. But right now, it's still here. I still struggle with that. So I don't bring it in. And the first thing I did when I came back from the meeting is I told my husband I'm going through the cupboard, getting rid of anything that would trigger me into binge eating or anything like that. And that's what I did. I had several boxes, big boxes of food. I stuck it in there and I gave it to whoever wanted it. I didn't throw it away because I didn't want to waste it, but I gave it to a bunch of skinny people that can eat it, and they're not triggered by that kind of stuff. So I threw it in the box, got rid of it. It's out of my house, out of my life for good. Never once did I bring it back into the house because I knew if I did, I'd eat it. So don't bring it into your house. Have control of something. Have control of that. You can control that. And just don't bring it in. And I know a lot of people, they have family members that want it, and I just say tough luck. If you want it, you're going to have to go get it yourself because I'm not bringing it into the house. And luckily, my 12-year-old, he has nothing to say about it because I'm the one that shops. I'm the one that brings in the food. So he eats what I bring in, or he doesn't eat. So there's several times when we made supper, he didn't want it. He made his own supper. I told him, I said, if you want something else, you have to make it, and I'm not making it for you. So he does. He knows how to cook. He's 12. I've taught him that kind of stuff. My husband eats whatever I give him, whatever I put in front of him. He's fine with it. So even when he was not on Weight Watchers, he knew I wasn't bringing anything into the house. He was okay with it. And I didn't do it. If he wanted it, he would have to go and get it and make sure I didn't see it. So he was at least nice enough to do that, and he respected me enough to do that. So if your significant other doesn't do that for you, I would really have a talk with them and say, hey, this is what needs to happen because it is your life. It is, it's your house too. So you have the right to say whether or not it should be in the house, or if they could, please at least hide it from you so you're not looking at it all the time. Out of sight, out of mind. It works for me a lot. I did once buy my son a few things, and I said, go put it downstairs somewhere. I don't care where, but it needs to be downstairs. And I didn't touch it. I didn't think about it because it wasn't there for me to look at. So it was okay. And I didn't do that often because I'm worried that eventually I'm going to come hunting for it, and when I go through certain binge moments. So I would definitely, if it's not working for you and you're struggling and you're finding stuff in the house to eat, you need to get rid of it. Just toss it or give it to somebody who needs it. Just get it out of the house, because that is one of the major things that has saved me. I can't even tell you how many countless times. I've always felt really strongly about that, and my family knows that. And so even like when we have company, if I know I'm going to have company, I literally have to go shopping before they get here. But I don't go shopping until the day of that they're getting here. I give myself like 2 hours. I go get the stuff, bring it home, put it down here in the freezer, because we have a fridge and freezer down here for company. And I put it in their freezer, in their refrigerator, and I tell them any leftovers, please take them with you or get rid of them. Or, I told Nick, go down and eat them. He can play games down here. He can eat them while, after the guest leaves or whatever. And that always works. It always works. It works out every time. Even when you're eating out, you have some control. You can tell the waiter to bake or broil your fish or meat or whatever it is you're having instead of frying it. Do not order any hors d'oeuvres or anything like that because they're always deep fried. Usually, 99% of the time they're deep fried. So I stay away from those sort of things, and I get things that are baked or broiled, and it's not that hard. Like at Chili's, we had this wonderful dish. It was only 13 smart points, and it was a huge plate of food. It had half a cup of rice, and it had a cup of broccoli that was steamed, and that was 0 smart points. And I made sure it didn't, have butter and stuff in it. And then there was the chicken with like a salsa sauce on it, and that was really low. So it was just, and it was so good, you guys. It was really, really good. And I can't remember the name of it, but I know I mentioned it on one of my videos this last week. Sometime we went to Chili's Saturday. So it would be on that video. And it was fabulous. It was really good. So I'm glad that we stopped there. My husband talked me into it. And usually I'm like, I've never eaten at Chili's, and I'm like, something new, I'd probably not interested in it. I'd rather just eat at home. But he said, no, it's only really, it's only 13 smart points. So I think we can manage it. So we did, and it was definitely worth it. I really enjoyed it, and we had a great time. So you do have a lot of control in your environment. So take advantage of that. Another thing I wanted to mention is I measured myself again since, gosh, it's been a while since I took measurements. But I lost, on my hips, I lost 10 inches, guys. And my waist was the same thing, 10 inches. So I didn't take many measurements other places. I know I lost about 1.5 inches on my calf, which was amazing to me. I'm like, yes, finally. And it's so funny because my left calf is bigger than my right calf. So I lost 1 inch in my left calf and 1.5 inches in my right calf. I'm like, oh, sure, it's going to even be smaller yet, and I'm going to look ridiculous. But, whatever. At least it's going. It's going somewhere. I don't care where it's going. It's just going. So that was just a really, really wonderful non-scale victory that I am just so enjoying. And I'm going to redo the measurements because I didn't write them down. I just wrote down those 2 just to tell you guys tonight about it. But I'm going to write down all of my measurements. I'll give you a full total of the inches that I've lost since I started at 330 pounds. I started Weight Watchers at 225.6, but I literally went to the doctor a week before and weighed in at 330 at the doctor's office. So my very highest weight was 330. And I remember going home taking measurements that day, and I have to find them. I know I put them somewhere. I know I hid them so nobody would find them because it was so embarrassing. But I remember how crazy it was. It was just, and today, guys, I was able to put on my shoes, and I actually put my foot up on my other leg. I was never able to do that before. And I put my shoe on so easily. And it's like, oh my gosh, I just, those things are things that I want to definitely mention in my 100-pound video. But it's just amazing. This journey has been so amazing for me. I am having such a fun time. And yeah, it's hard. It's really, really hard, guys. But I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on Weight Watchers. I'm not giving up because you know what? There's days when you're going to struggle. There's days when you're going to really have a tough time. And there's days that you're going to think, oh my gosh, I just totally feel like this is not working. But you keep going. Keep struggling through that. It'll pass, and you'll be right back at it again. There's been so many days when I did want to give up. The first several months, the weight was just falling off like crazy because I was like really, really, really motivated, super motivated. And my plan was to get my husband to join, and I knew he wouldn't join unless I lost quite a bit of weight and I was doing well. So I made sure to do well, and I was eating most of my weeklies most of that time too. But because I was eating so much before, it was a huge difference. Even eating all my weeklies was a huge difference in what I had been eating. I was drinking 5 sodas a day, and that was Pepsi, regular Pepsi. I was going to McDonald's every day. I would go to Taco Bell every 3rd day, and that's along with McDonald's in the morning. Then I'd have Taco Bell for lunch, and it was just so much lazy eating. It's you can't be lazy. That you gotta cook. You gotta get those meals prepped every day. it's a huge lifestyle change, and that's exactly what it is. A lifestyle change is something that you can continue doing for the rest of your life. I refuse to do anything that I would not be able to do for the rest of my life. I can't change diets. Once I change, I gain it back. It never fails. I've tried it so many times, and I know I gain it back once I start eating the way I want to eat again. So it doesn't pan out for me ever. So I needed something that I could just follow every single day and live the rest of my life on. And I have no doubt that I am going to be on Weight Watchers for the rest of my life. That's just, I love tracking. I love it. I love writing everything down. I know some people struggle with that. I love it. I'm thankful that I love it, but I love it. I didn't love it at first. I really did not love it at first. That is pretty much exactly what I wanted to tell you. That, guys, control your environment. Get rid of that crap out of your house. Get rid of it. It does not help you. If you know it's a trigger food for you, out the door it goes. It is really simple to do. I'm telling you, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I wanted this so bad. I wanted it so bad I could just taste it. And I still want 80 to 90 pounds yet, and I want that just as bad. So I'm going to continue doing this. I am both struggling, having fun. It's all of it. It's all of it together. It's mingling together. And as long as I can have a struggle day and then a good day and a struggle day and a good day, I'm okay with that. And I know I have really tough days sometimes, and I am going to struggle through them. You can too. You can do it. And even if it's not Weight Watchers, if it's some other plan that you're working on and you really do love it, don't give up on it. Just keep plugging along, and eventually you'll get it. You'll get it. You just can't give up. You can't stray off your plan. You just got to keep on that wagon. Keep on it, and just ask for help if you need it, guys. We're all here to help you. If you need help, just ask any one of us. And you can email probably any one of us, and I think any one of us would be totally happy to help you out or to try and encourage you. And I don't know what else to tell you if you're struggling. I really want to see every one of you guys make your goal, and I know I feel so bad when I see people struggling, and I just want to reach out to them and say, you can do it. You can do it. Just reach out, ask for help. Email people, talk to them privately. That's what we're here for. That's what every one of us is here for, to motivate others and to keep ourselves motivated. There's 3 reasons I'm here. The one and very first reason is to be able to make these videos for my kids to watch when I'm gone, or my grandkids to watch when I'm gone, just to watch my journey and see how I do. The second reason is to motivate myself, and then the third reason is to motivate others. And I'm hoping that you guys are motivated by me, and I'm working my butt off to try and get this weight off so I can be motivational to others. And gosh, sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job at it, but then other times I feel like, yeah, I really am. And you just go through those certain moods that you just feel down in the dumps, and just like, how can anybody be motivated by me because I've been doing so badly? But we are, because we need to see those bad times too. So I absolutely love watching those that are struggling too, not because you're struggling, but because it helps teach me. I think that is all for my fall goal series today. I'm trying to think of a topic for next week, but it hasn't jumped out at me yet. So you may have to wait and see next week what my topic will be. But this week, it was right there. It's like jumped right out at me. I am going to close it up here then, and I'm going to try to get this uploaded for you by morning. I wanted to get this out yesterday. I was being super lazy yesterday. All we did was watch TV. It's going to be week 8 fall goal series next week, and then we're going to have to start calling it winter, because guess what? It snowed all freaking day today. It really did. I think we have snow on the ground yet out there, but it's so windy, and it snowed all the way into town. I was kind of worried that it was getting kind of slippery out, but it was 34 degrees, so I felt safe yet driving. But of course, no cruise control for me because I don't want to go sliding all over the creation. But it snowed all day today, off and on. I'll post some clips after this so you can check out the snow, but it's beautiful. Every time it snows for the first time, it makes me want to clean my house. I don't know why, it just does. We got some snow going on, guys. Crazy amount of snow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all next week for week 8 of the Fall Goal series, and I will let you know then what the topic will be, or maybe if I think of it in between with my daily videos, if I can get my daily videos going again, I will mention it in there too. I usually get my inspiration from the meetings actually about what to talk about, so it's pretty cool that way. That's another plus for the meetings. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye guys.